The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 1-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
And I'm Gavin.
Speaking for the back row.
Boy, you guys sure look handsome this week.
That sounded like a leprechaun there or something.
And that has nothing to do with the fact that he's Irish. Well, just resist doing a terrible Irish accent. Resist doing. I should not have Jeff. I'm look. I can't.
You and yes,
It just
impersonations.
say like my wife asked him. That's why I do. It's just about like the start. I find.
Yeah.
With most accents and like with Irish, you just kind of like tumble into it. Like I should, and then you try to say whatever words you need to say, and then it becomes like awful. So.
No, please continue.
No, I think we've had enough. So.
No.
As obvious, Gavin will be missing out this week. I think he's in a turkey-induced coma. But the other new dads shall carry on bravely.
Yeah.
Speaking of Thanksgiving and those events, we'd gone to a couple, like literally a couple, like festivals, like pumpkin fall festivals at farms, and it's just parents competing with each other for photo ops. Like that's it's parents trying to find and trying to steal the best group of pumpkins to put their kid down. And I hope the kid looks good enough while I get my picture. And there's 100 of that. There's just 100 of that. And then the one we were at today, like the sun was right down, so like the shadows were huge. So like you had these other competing parents like wandering in the background, shattering your kid. Oh, I just missed the perfect moment because that parent just stood in my light. So just it.
I think if you say parents were going to set up lighting, like lighting towers and diffused lighting, and
it would be more honest, like it'd be just a full-on admittal about what this event is about. This is about getting photos of my kids with pumpkins.
Yeah.
To put on Facebook or just send to people. And it's just that kind of Pinterestification of some of these parenting moments that really gets to you sometimes, where you can't just like, it's hilarious. Like he is up and down on pumpkins. He is falling all over. He's trying to pick up pumpkins. They're as big as him. And he's like complaining, like that's hilarious. Like it's weighs more than you, little human. So it's great, and we obviously had a great time. Like this is a lot of fun, these type of things, but you just notice it. Like I notice we do it. I'm guilty of this, trying to capture those pictures. Like
well, you have to compete with all the other ones, so your kid has to look like the golden child compared to everybody else's golden child.
Like it's one of those things where like it probably happened by accident to somebody with like an old film camera that they found out like 6 months later when they finally developed it. Like, oh wow, what a great pumpkin shot! And now Instagrammed and then shared to Facebook and tweeted and put on Pinterest. Like these are great pumpkin photos, and it results in just this clamoring of parents and a bunch of kids that got no idea what's happening.
Okay,
no idea what's happening.
$1 million question though: did you buy a pumpkin? Or did you just leave?
No, we didn't buy pumpkin.
I feel so bad for the farmers. They're just like, all these people are touching their pumpkins and nothing comes of it.
These poor pumpkin vendors. And there's so many broken pumpkins because like, hey kid, hold this. Oops. Well, I didn't have to buy it. Throw them into the next batch of them. It was great. I mean, it's a type of thing like we bought. We had some food there, and like on the one spot, you actually just had to pay admission for the entire. This one like kids section. And that was great because like the rest of it's pretty much free. You could go to the pumpkin patch for free. Some food and drink things are free, but to get into this kind of call it kid and activity center is like $12 a shot.
Oh my god, $12 you said?
$12, sir,
for just him and you guys.
Fortunately, kid was free.
Okay.
Which is, if it was 3 of us, we would not have.
Whoa, yeah.
So we wander in, and they're in front of this sand pit with just the most amount of yellow metal, rusty, dangerous Tonka trunks I've ever seen. Which, by the way, those are the funnest.
Right.
Those are amazing.
Yeah.
I fully endorse those dangerous trucks.
Just tetanus waiting to happen.
Worthwhile tetanus. It's gonna make you stronger. But sitting in front of that with 4 old riding lawnmower tractors that had been dolled up like just like something that kids can jump on. So like they've been given nice seats and like steering wheels. And that is the only thing he wanted to do. There's animals, there is hay rides, there is a big thing of pumpkins that we want him to sit inside of so we can get some photos. But he wants to be on that tractor for like an hour. He's just having the time of his life. He's just like pretending to steer and jumping up and down and just like that cost $24.
Well, now you know what to get for your front lawn. You just need to get a rundown old tractor.
Yeah. As soon as if anyone's ever going to throw one out, like I just got to show up with a cart behind my car and just drag it away. It's like done and done. Dad of the year.
Yeah.
Until
wait a minute. My kid's 8 now. He doesn't want to do that anymore.
It's like, well, son, sorry, you cast your lot when you were 15 months old. So that was great. I mean, this week, and I'd actually pose this as a question to you, on the dad side of things. So my son has mentioned at daycare that my son has begun to bite people. So he's a biter. I don't know that it's a prolific problem. I don't know that's like the only thing he ever does. But my worry is like he's 15 months. Like I can't sit him on my knee for a fireside chat and say, "All right, my lad, like here's how the world works."
Well, you can. You might just look kind of crazy.
Yeah, he starts like flailing away because he wants to go run around.
Yeah.
So there's no, and I can't bite him to show him how it hurts. Like, wow, that's how do you like it? Well, don't bite people anymore. Dumb kid.
I'm done. Yeah, that was a good dad talk.
So, yeah, I mean, I think we're doing our best to correct behaviors as well as we can, in trying to like say like if he's doing something like this, like no, that's a bad action. You shouldn't be doing that, or try to do this. But I don't see him bite many people, so it's kind of hard to correct. Did you have a biting phase with either of your boys?
Yes. So we had a biter and a bitee. So we kind of had both sides of the story. My eldest, my 6-year-old, he took a good chunk out of a couple people when he was younger, around 15 months. Yeah, so around that same area.
Like you're talking blood, like
no, like you could like a tooth imprint where you could probably
ID them,
ID all the teeth that were in there. And that's the worst part, is when those teeth come in, they're sharp, like they're like little serrated like chiclets going after these kids. And then my he was on the receiving end for one of them, and then my youngest he's got bit a couple times too. But yeah, it's hard to curb because those happen at daycare, right? So you're not there to kind of enforce anything beyond what she or he is trying to do. So you're just kind of relying on the daycare provider to provide that, where you'll get the report back. And the funny thing is that they won't tell you who your kid bit because they don't want parents going at each other. But I more likely want to know just to like apologize. Like I'm like, oh no, let me like, I don't know, bring him a coffee or something, or an ice pack.
What are you doing? Are you rubbing your kid with sugar each day? Knock it off.
Yes. What are you doing? What are you doing? Your kid's like pissing my kid off. But
well, that's the thing that they had kind of supposed, is that so he's in fact like a little bit young to be in this group of daycare.
Oh, so it's self-defense. You're fine.
Well, just you got to get a spot when you can, because if it fills up, they can't keep it for him. He needed to move out of the younger group, so it just all kind of came together. And he's he's still pretty advanced as far as being able to. His balance is good. He runs around. He takes a beating, but so they said it's just because he doesn't have the words to express like what he wants, or like, give me that, I don't like that. So he just bites like out of I don't know if it's defense or just like a frustration, basically, like
Well, I mean, it's
frustration.
his
But
language right now, right? There's a good bite and a bad bite, depending on where is he biting? The shoulder, the hand, the
I like you, chomp.
yeah.
You're a jerk. Ah. Depends on the ferocity. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
it'll pass, man. Like, but it's weathering the daycare provider kind of staring into your soul, like, you fix your kid because I don't want to deal with
yeah.
this. And then the other
Yeah.
parents that are looking at you kind of cockeyed, they're just like, oh, it was that kid. Oh, look at them. They drive a
Yeah.
Saturn. Oh my God. Like,
They must be parenting wrong to have this kid bite. And just
yeah.
like how like I'm trying to think if you could even train your kid to bite. Like, all right, 1-year-old, if ever you're pushed around, you got these little chompers here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that they hurt. So you go in.
Just give him a good chew toy at home, instead of the dog, just give it to your son.
It's like human shaped and just like these are the key these are the key areas to bite, my son.
Even just to run down those teeth a little bit, maybe they wouldn't
No,
hurt so much.
oh, sorry, them down. But no, so that was all great. From a gaming perspective, so had a couple sessions of Gravity Rush. It still seems like if it pulls another U-turn or like call it even like a left turn,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll stick with it because
Oh, wow.
it's still its trajectory looks like it's going to end, like it's building up and the character's getting in place. But if it does another big sweeping turn and like, okay, now you got to do it all over again, it's like, nah, okay, you did it, you're fine.
That's it.
But I did a lot of hockey this week, and it's the timing of it's great just because it was an incredibly busy week, and being able to sit down, like basically a 5-8 minute game. Yeah, in out, exactly what you're getting into. No
Yep.
real fuss, no muss. And at one point, I almost got like it built me up and then broke me down because I felt like I'd started to really get it. I had one game where I beat them like 9-1, like just smoke them. And this is after a previous win of like 5-3. So all of a sudden it's like, okay, I think I get this kind of now. Like I think I'm understanding the language. I can almost up the difficulty. And then I just got smoked like 6-2 last night. And just the most like debilitating game. It was so frustrating. The two games I lost like 2 in a row. And it's just like, so what are you, game? Like, are you difficult?
I would love to be like that software engineer that kind of programmed in that code. And you're like, let's let them win like by a large margin, and then just like make the computer kill them the next two. Like just take away that confidence.
You're gonna ebb and flow, especially when you're starting to get good. But like, come on, like how do you? And it's not. I'm doing my best not to choose the best team versus the worst team either, because like it's because
Well, there's your problem. Come on.
well, see now. But so I'd like to get good at it, but anyway, it's fitting the bill. Like right now, it's just great where it's that quick in and out. You know exactly what you're getting. 10 minutes, boom, you're done. If you want to have a second one, neat. If not, like put it down, go to bed.
Nice.
The only thing I'll round up the gaming talk with was so Fallout 4, which I haven't touched this game.
It's been a while.
In ages, and I didn't even want to for the longest time. Like I was just done with it. Other stuff came up, but I just had this like nagging sense of like, man, you should like give that another shot. And I just kept seeing these clips and these GIFs and these videos of like, oh, look at these kind of cool things happening. You're like, that was such a cool world. That's such a well-built place. But my issue with it was one of the biggest issues I had was just the grind and specifically the inventory management.
Mm-hmm.
Because to build this thing, you need this much material, so you're supposed to collect junk. Except, funny story, you can really not carry that much at all. So now you're trudging through this big long corridor or like a big factory you're trying to clear out, and there's just all this stuff. And like, oh, okay, now I have too much. I can't carry anymore. So you have to like drop a bunch of things, and that constant inventory management.
Right.
And especially on things when you're trying to build up guns and get materials that you need, and maybe this gun is better, but I don't really have time to like sit here and compare right now. Like it was just ruining the whole experience for me, and which has led me to cheat. basically.
Oh,
So, yeah. So it's so beautifully easy. The funny thing is too, like I tried to. I don't know if you ever dipped into the modding scene. So this is on PC. I have my version, but there's obviously I'd almost call it the hardcore version, where you could
okay.
just like download these mods and try to like manually install them.
Okay, yeah,
Now that felt like a bit too much work for me. I didn't like the sound. I
yeah. I
didn't like the
just want it to
sound.
work. Yeah. Don't break what I
So
have, but work, right?
yeah. So there was this thing called, and I've never modded before, so I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was trying to find some guides, and the next one I heard about was Nexus Mod.
Yeah, I've
So
heard
this
of
is
that.
it. Yes, this is a program. Download it. You have to change a couple config files, so you're looking at not big, but like basically kind of like lines of code,
Yeah, yeah.
changing a few things, and then it all kind of works. Um, I tried to install a few things, but it didn't actually work. My game actually crashed. It just kept
Yeah,
crashing. It just wouldn't go, and I'm like, oh, this
I've
is
seen
already
that.
this is 15 minutes I could have just been playing. I don't want to
Yeah.
put. But I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just go into it and try to not care. They just have modding in the game. Like I didn't need to do any of that stuff.
Right.
Like
It's
in the
just built
PC
in.
version, yeah, it's like the 6th version. It's like mods. It's
What
just
are
like,
you doing?
yeah, what the heck was I doing? I had no idea. I thought it was like illicit. Like I thought you had to go around, but it's just
I'm
the
gonna
game's
break.
like, hey, you want to cheat? Hey, here's all the stuff. Do it. So
Get ahead easy. Just pay attention. Come on.
I gotta know better. So I think it actually, I don't know that this was out when I first downloaded it. And maybe it was, I just didn't notice it. So yeah, lo and behold, this one of them is called the cheat tape. If you remember with Fallout 4 with your Pip-Boy, you can find these little tapes and put them in and
Oh,
play
right.
them. And
Yep.
you take this one and you put it in, except it just gives you a menu. And the
Yeah.
menus like become invincible, like max out these stats, or set your stats at this, give yourself this many bottle caps, the currency. And there's one of them. One of them is just like infinite carry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just like done because
It's
I
not
want to
really
pick up.
cheating to me. You call it cheating, but I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just adapting to your life right now.
it is so. I almost wish they created it. I understand why they wouldn't want to necessarily make it official, and especially against. And one of the things that happens is as soon as you do these mods through the official channels, they
Okay.
turn off all achievements. You can't
Yep.
get any achievements. I could care less, of course, but interesting that they would. That's a fair trade.
Yep.
Um, this one feels, yeah, this one's, I don't feel so bad about. There's God mode right there, and it was tempting because I kept going in this one. I went into this one factory, and there's just this jerk that would come down with a flamethrower, light you up, and then these two other guys are throwing grenades at you, just dead, like died like
Yep.
6 times, and
Click.
the button's right there. The button is
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
just like I know I can beat this eventually. I know I have it in me to beat this if I want to. I just don't have time to keep doing it.
There it is. Yeah.
However, I did beat it legit. I just went back and got my power armor,
Good for you.
which is kind of like ended up being kind of a cool story because like yeah, I came in a few times, got my ass handed to me, and it's like all right. So went back and get my like, tank armor, just stroll through like it's like punching everybody, and just it was phenomenal. It's great, but yeah, I think we discussed last week about being the dad button,
Yeah.
right? Where on some games it's just I want to be here, I want to be in this world, but I just cannot dedicate the time to your systems. Like it's very dad unfriendly, and that inventory stuff was like just certainly the super unfriendly as a dad thing.
Yeah, and with a world like that too, you could wander the wrong direction, kind of be far into it before realizing you're not supposed to be at that area at that time, like for your level. So like that's an issue too, where now you've invested all this time, you might have pinned yourself into a corner where you have this overpowered boss or enemy coming at you, and you're like, I can't lose all the time I just invested. I'm sorry, I failed. But get me through this.
Yeah, it's like I understand the appropriate path is to restart and do everything again,
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
but I ain't got. Yeah, I think it's so just tweaking. It's a couple buttons that literally just resets a couple things that are more difficult from a time perspective. Like
Yeah.
it's just I don't, and I really appreciate that as a mod thing. And I love that they built it in, like that Bethesda would just have it as a menu item. Like it's not just a menu item, like it's a whole storefront basically where you can just say like, hey, here's the most popular ones. Download this guy, get this weapon skin, get this extra story.
I wonder if they did that because of the console release. Like maybe it wasn't there before. I couldn't tell you, but because the consoles have mods, at least Xbox One does, and PS4 is getting them. But
yeah, they are now after bowing to pressure because initially they weren't going to have it.
well, yeah, because I guess it opens up the system, maybe like the console itself, to certain things. I don't know. I don't know what the details of it are, but I think only some of them are being chosen for the PS4. Like it has to use in-game stuff versus Xbox, where you can introduce new stuff. So you can have testicle people or whatever. I don't know. Like
Finally, never enough of that stuff. So yeah, but it that was good. I think it's interesting, especially I guess a bit more towards the PC gaming. I've been pretty focused on the PlayStation recently, so that was great. That was an excellent moment, and I think like man, that world. Oh, it is so because it's very much Skyrim, right? Like the same company, say obviously, but damn, if that's like if it isn't just so fleshed out, and all the same promise persist. Where I think it's going to be more about this is really just going to be about exploring and enjoying moments when I travel through. Because and I'll wrap it up with this, but I was on the way, so I was finally going to go to Diamond City. So
I don't even know the game, but I know that you're supposed to be there like a long time ago.
That's
like,
the first thing. Like I think in total I've put probably 30 hours in this game.
Right.
And I have still not been to the first place it told me to go. Like I just started to tramp around, and I said to myself, okay, I am going to go to Diamond City. I'm going to start getting this train moving. And I have there's like 50 quests I have. I have so many things stacked up for me to do, but I'd finished one mission, returning a guy's son to him and actually getting this awesome like flame sword. All very great. Finished that. Like, all right, Diamond City. I'm like beeline for it. And then I'm strolling through, and I think Diamond City is no more than like 80 meters away. And I come across something called like Johnson Sewer. I'm like, huh.
Oh no.
That's like Johnson Sewer, you say, eh? What's down here?
Well, let's go in here and take a look.
But I'm looking at it. I'm just like, I know what this is going to be about. This is a whole other tree, but like, it seems so cool. And man. I lucked out. This one was very focused. It was like definitely like it was a whole little tiny story. It was some serial murderer who was having an out with a detective, and he left this like series of tapes as you go through this thing for the detective. And he's like, oh, like I'm finally here, out away from the light. I can finally show myself. I'm actually really excited you're here because like finally like you can see who I am. And he's done all this awful stuff with like bones and bodies, like pieces of art basically. And ghouls are coming at you. They're fighting, and he just keeps narrating it through these tapes as you're going through.
Okay.
And a couple like big boss ghouls come at you at some point, and you're fighting that out. And then he just kind of like wraps it up. It's a little anticlimactic. I was hoping for I think I found his body. Except it didn't really sell it very much. It was just kind of just the same. Like it was an awesome experience, and again, it just reminds you about how incredible these games are. And I came up to the service, and it's like, well, that's my session for tonight. But let's have that be the last distraction before I do the very first thing in the game I'm supposed to do.
You're almost there. You're almost at the first part, really, where it kind of opens up beyond that.
That's like I think it's like Diamond City is supposed to represent like 5%. Like it's like, all right, you're just beginning this game. But yeah, I'll suffice to say, for a dad, and especially with PC gaming, I think mods will start to work its way into my repertoire a bit more, especially for systems that I just find arduous or unnecessary. You know, if you have to get through, like you have to be a level 20, you're level like 17. You have to be level 20 to get through here. And it's like, that literally just means I have to go and kill things for 30 minutes or 40 minutes or an hour. It's just, come on. Like in that case, I could literally see a mod where I got to choose my own level. As dirty as that might feel,
that feels dirty.
If that one feels really dirty, I know. I don't know that I'd necessarily pull it off, but just in example, I could see, depending on the game, mods starting to work out to help supplement, like to help get me past some of these problems with games with such limited time as a dad.
Yeah, and I can see some of those kind of systems working their way into the games as well, like with the developers, because one thing I had a problem with, or spent a lot of time trying to research, is like character points. So like I know there's a limited amount of these character points in a game, but if I start assigning them and build a character that's just completely going to screw me in the end, right? You know, you don't put enough into aggression or whatever. I want like a reset button or like a redistribute. And in Witcher 3, you could just drink a potion and reset them all. So it was kind of neat. You had to buy a potion, it would be done. And with the inventory system, you have to craft stuff in Witcher 3 as well, but none of the crafting materials took weight. So if you found stuff like a sword or armor, that would be your weight. But any of the other stuff that was like, okay, well, you need, 6 mushrooms to make, I don't know, whatever, that wouldn't take anything. So I think some of those user-based mods that were in games before, like Skyrim and Oblivion and those other games, I think are starting to trickle down into the developer, and even including like a mod menu system is like the next step, right? Now maybe that's a feature from now on where, hey, look, break our game.
Well, it's just it's friendly because like it's going to happen. Like you can try your best to.
It's your choice, right? Like it's not like forcing itself on you. It's
no. I mean, it's going to happen
there,
that
right
like you could try to put effort in to try to prevent mods in your games. But that effort is probably better spent on cool new features and a better game. And it's like, all right, if you mod, have fun. This is your product. You bought it. Just you can't play online against other people. That's fair.
Makes sense, right? Yeah.
With those mods on, we're not talking permaban, and you can't get achievements.
Right.
Or leaderboards. Like, yeah, sure. Like that's fair.
Yeah.
I get it. Like basically leaderboard is just whoever can type the highest number.
Yeah.
Just 9s and 0s for like 2 days straight.
That's it.
I did it. I win.
Yes.
So the that took so I said I just found it no shorter than a few days after we talked about our dad button. I
found your dad button.
Springboarded into the world of mods, which very much suits the bill. But yourself, Jeff, how was your week in fatherhood and gaming?
Fatherhood was great. So Canadian Thanksgiving, we got a long weekend, a couple extra days with the kids, or an extra day with the kids. And it's got, I don't know, the weather kind of turned on us. It's a lot colder now. It's definitely fall. But we got the kids outside so they wouldn't climb the walls. So some good bike rides and walks and stuff like that. Just cheap, fun, easy stuff to do to tire them out. And then they watched a couple of movies, like Halloween movies. So we're getting into that, which kept them quiet for a bit. Big turkey dinner as well. My eldest, 6-year-old, will eat anything you give him. Like he will clean his plate 3 times over. I think he had 3 plates of turkey. Oh. But my 3-year-old, mashed potatoes. It's just mashed potatoes and butter. And maybe he'll eat the turkey for dessert. So
just like, you see the parents like pulling your hair out, like, no meat and vegetables, please.
Yeah, this can't happen. So, but
not just starch.
Yeah, and just cover it with gravy, right? Oh, so good. But no, it was a good weekend in fatherhood. Nothing dramatic happened yet, but they're back to school tomorrow, so good.
Yeah, did you find that so we had there's the extra day off in Canada with Thanksgiving, and I don't find. I remember what long weekends used to be like.
Yeah, those are gone, man. They are totally gone. This is like an added day of work.
Yeah, it's just we had great times, and we did like a bunch of outdoor stuff too. But ultimately, it's just another day, full time with the kid.
Yeah,
which is a different type of work. So it's like, hey, you get this extra day off. You're like, it's kind of just another day of work. It's just different.
Yeah.
You're not going to sleep in.
No, no way. They don't.
Like you're not gonna have a gaming session. Like what are you just like? Bye, family. I'm gonna go leave. I'll be gone for 6 hours. I got called into the office. Real important meeting.
Yeah.
Witcher 3.
Yeah. No, it's like basically spacing out my usual weekend jobs over 3 days instead of two, which that is my added break. So instead of mowing the lawn on Saturday, I did it on Sunday.
Ooh, big
Whoa,
roller.
I am living it up.
Stretch it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had somebody at Thanksgiving dinner talking about he's just doing the usual single guy rub it in your face thing. It's
Oh,
like
perfect, right?
I don't mind it so much because it's like, oh man, I gotta wake up so late. Like, what am I gonna do with all this spare time?
And this money. Oh man, I'm drowning in just money.
Yeah, yeah. The
Money.
That doesn't bother me though. Like, good on them, and there's some folks who maybe just want to have kids. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
I think for me, it was always just a thought that like as right now, the guy who I am with my job and everything else like that, ultimately, I'd probably prefer not to have kids. In like, I absolutely want him to be here though, because like it's more for me not to have a kid now
Mhm.
because this is it. This is prime, right? Like I've worked really hard in my career, and like things have kind of come together. Um, you reach your 30s, and you're kind of confident about who you are, and what you like, what you want to do. Your marriage is kind of cemented a bit, and you're great with each other. You know what I mean? Like life is great, and then into that, you throw what is the ultimate sacrifice and responsibility
Yeah.
with a kid, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, just a real binary basic levels, like it's not a great time to have a kid because things are so great. Like you finally have some income to spend, and if you had some time, you could do some interesting things. You could travel, play
Yeah.
games. But the thought of being like 60 and 50 and like not having a family you always wanted, because I always wanted a family, or I want a family, like, and
Yeah.
I could feel it, and I always did. And it's just like it's about having it now because you can't. It's very time sensitive. You can't put it off for 20 years. You
Yeah.
can't wait another 15. So I sometimes hear these guys and they're like, "Oh, like hell, to spare time," and it's like you're flirting with the finite resource.
Yeah.
Like I get that it's kind of hard to give up everything that's so great about right now, but like there's huge payoffs for it. And even with him too, as much as like, we obviously complain like all the little moments and the tiny things and the fun that we're having with them, like it's great. But I
Yeah.
think
Putting it off, I don't know, man. Like, can you imagine you're 45, you start having kids, like even, through scientific means to get it done. But I don't know, chasing around a 2-year-old when you're 46, 47, it's not gonna be the same as if you need like your endurance as a 30-year-old to just get up day after day and
yeah.
chase them.
Like what do you like, or like a 10-year-old when you're 65 or
No, like yeah, which one of my friends in high school, that was kind of the situation where their parents were like closer to 75. He was like an accident baby, which we ribbed him for, but
yeah, which you hear no end of.
he
Yeah.
his experience was way different than his brother. Like
Hmm.
he was just video games all the time because that's what they could just give him and he would be okay with it. And going and playing baseball out back wasn't really there for him because the parents were just they had to take afternoon naps, and like I take afternoon naps, so I can only imagine when you're at 70 that you'd be sleeping most of the day. I don't know.
Yeah, and then just you're gonna be gone at such a pinnacle time for them, like when they're like 20s, 30s.
Yep.
Like you'll be especially like you almost need to start being taken care of, like at the prime of their life. Like it's some of the time mismatch. I think it's in many ways you kind of like give up. Like you get that feeling, you get that sense, and you make some decisions about if you want it, and you have to give up what would be some of the greatest years theoretically, but it's just for that payoff and like what you would actually want. And I think the payoff becomes greater the further you go along. Like to
Yeah.
be a 40-year-old with a 10-year-old, or however those numbers kind of work.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So I just hear the young guys kind of big cry, or the guys are the same age who just don't have kids yet. That I just necessarily doesn't. It's never gotten to me because I'm just so happy and satisfied with the decision. It's like I don't think any dad doesn't think about sleeping until 11 on a Saturday and then blowing the rest of it on a video game.
It'd be so good.
Certainly.
It'd be so good. Can you
Just so
imagine?
just yeah, you wake up at like 11 and like you just kind of roll out of
Just
bed and
even to blow a day on a game. Like I haven't done that in forever. Like, well, since my kids, because even if you take a sick day or something and or a day off and they're not even here, you feel like you have to do something. Like, I don't know whether it's clean the house or get the lawn in order, or I don't know, get rid of the old kids' toys to prepare the new ones. I like it's the responsibility. You're too responsible. It's
got adult
I just
things.
want 8 hours in a video game where I can destroy the game and pass it off, right? Mark it off.
Just a check mark on it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so despite all that, yeah, it's doesn't particularly get to me. It's just always kind of funny to hear about it, and yeah, no, I
Uh,
don't know. Just maybe that's your Christmas or birthday present.
just a
One
day.
free for one free pass day might
One
be.
IOU. That would be great. That would be a good gift. It wouldn't cost you anything. Just take the kids
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, and you take the kids. Even for I tell you what, like the real secret would be like for a night and taking like grandpa's for the night,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and that's just
Just
that you get the other person just gets the run of the house just that entire time. Just like I get to see like all these like just all these like ideas percolating in your head all
I'm
of a
just
sudden, like
thinking like
oh.
just I'm in my pajamas, got my robe on. I maybe crack a beer at 10 a.m. Sit down.
So
Turn the PlayStation.
so we are in a post Witcher 3 world.
We are.
You have broken the shackles
They
of the
have.
game that has held you for a year. So so what did you play now that you're a free man?
It was hard because I had a couple of games in the digital library that I was looking at. I'm like, what do I start? But what was cool that I will say I played was a demo. I don't know if you ever played Dragon Quest. It used to be called Dragon Warrior. I had it on old Nintendo when it came out, and then it goes all the way up there, probably up to 9 or 10.
Yeah, that's with the blue slimes, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they
Yeah.
have one called Dragon Quest Builder, and I just was kind of interested. It's a free demo, whatever. I'll download it. So basically, it's Minecraft, but with a role-playing system. So you have like little quests that you have to do with your little town that you get, and you have to build it up and kind of defend it against monsters that come in and try to get rid of it. Because what I found neat was I don't really like Minecraft. Like I understand what it's for, and the people that use it do like amazing things with it. But it's so open world to me that I'm not sure I see the point where I am in my life. So I can understand kids going bananas in it. But this one kind of gave me a glimpse into what it would be like with like certain quests. So you have to go out and, fetch materials and build up this little house that you're supposed to build. And the house has to have 2 beds and a torch and a light. And then somebody will come when that's built, a little villager will come in and live in it and start talking to you and give you more quests. So it's kind of neat just to build that up. And
Nice. Yeah. Because they've
uh,
been like they're pretty good stories. I seem to recall a lot of my RPG buddies always holding those games in high revere. Is that
yeah,
accurate? Like Dragon Quest games are.
yeah, it was I'll relate it right to Final Fantasy, right? Like it's similar in their own right. Like they have their own, it's very
The world's
dragon,
ending.
right?
We need to.
Yeah, like it's the same kind of premise. So, but it's its own Final Fantasy, and now it's owned by Square Enix anyway. So it's kind of the same world, but it was a different spin on something that I could see happening now. Just bringing in a branded RPG into this Minecraft world and kind of making it quest based, which is a neat thing to do. So I had fun not only playing that with by myself, but with my son because it was kind of age appropriate. It's little cartoony graphics, and there's no blood or extreme violence. It's just sword and bang happens on the screen, whatever. But it was kind of neat to do. So I played that for a bit. But my real game is Divinity Original Sin again. I left that one way back. Like
You're not
way.
gonna give yourself like some
No,
break,
no,
like some 8 hour like bit of joy, like the
no,
game
I'm
that
gonna do it.
Gavin recommended, Monster Tower.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Man, like
No, quick.
come on, just like,
No,
Like, come, what is with you? Like, give yourself a break. Have like a
I don't know what it was. I think it was
play
like
Portal or something. Like Portal 2,
it
eight
was.
hours in and out.
I think the world of Witcher 3 just held me so much, and I'm like, I just need to get in another big world like that. I don't know what it was. I'm gonna regret it. Let's see what happens next week. But
A free game for PlayStation right now is Transformers Destruction or something to that regard.
yes,
Cell shaded,
yes, looks
dumb,
gorgeous.
beat
Looks
'em up,
yeah.
silly, fun game.
No,
You should download it
I don't
and
know.
just play it. Like,
I don't want to.
have some fun.
I
Uh,
don't know. I need a story. I need like maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like an escape, right? You're being this character, you're in this world, you're this person. Let's go. Let's do this. So anyway, I have played this game. It's grabbed me again, which is awesome. I did something bad in the game.
is there a mod you can install?
No, there's not, but I had to look it up to see if I screwed myself. So in this marketplace, there's a big marketplace of this one city, and this game is renowned for you can do anything in it, and the game will just adjust for you. So I accidentally went to this marketplace, bought a magic scroll, which gave me a teleportation spell. So I'm like, cool, let's see what this looks like, because you can test things out when there's no enemies around. So I tested it out, and apparently I pissed off a civilian. Like, it did damage to him.
Oh no.
So all the guards are called, and not only the guards, but like characters of the game that would give you. One is from the major quest that I'm doing. He comes out, and then like his daughter comes out of the secondary house, and they're all like mages and stuff, and one's a knight. So I'm like, oh crap. I killed them all.
It's like that you should just run away and like give it like 10 minutes. So you decide
No,
you
no.
went the murder you went murder.
I
You thought
went murder.
murder.
I'm like, let's see what happens. And then I'm like, okay, let's see how far I can take this. The game didn't fail me. I murdered everybody, and I'm just standing there in like pools of blood. Like all these items around me, I can get anything from the marketplace now because they're all dead. So all their inventory is there. Um, and then I'm like, well, I'm checking my logbook. It keeps track of all your quests, and a lot of those are just still active, but those guys are dead now. So
Who you gonna report to?
I had
It's
to
like,
look up on the internet. Well, how do you progress? And I guess the developers of the game have said that this is part of the game. If you kill an NPC, that the story can still continue. Like, so you can still go along the main quest because those characters are kind of people you have to beat or join with anyway. But it's going to be a hell of a lot harder because now you don't have all these side quests to do to gain experience to go on. So I was like,
oh wow.
took me 2 seconds. I'm like, do I reload or do I go ahead?
What do you decide? Like, what are you gonna do with that? You
I
gonna stick in your murder?
reloaded. I couldn't
Ah,
live with myself. I murdered everybody. Like it was not a pretty sight.
every feels that feels a little overarching. Like you kind of damage one. I've always hated that as a system. Like just the binary black and white. Like you accidentally harm one citizen, so now you're just
Yeah.
dog meat in the whole world.
Yeah, and
So
like I've saved this town from a lot of stuff. And like, sorry, I teleported my guy near you and it hurt you. Like, come on. Sick the guards
yeah,
on me.
yeah. It seemed like an accident. That's a happy accident. Like I literally saved your daughter from a dragon. Come
Yeah.
on.
It reminds me of Skyrim where that would happen. You like hurt a chicken and like the whole army's after you. You're like, dude,
Just
do I
what
have to kill you? Because I'll kill you.
Oh, surprise, Gavin.
Hey, it's a Thanksgiving miracle.
Oh, and he's muted.
It's okay. Nope, still can't hear you. Nope.
Nope.
No.
Man, this surprise entrance is starting to lose its effect.
No, now we just have a pretty face to look at. It's okay. Oh,
Oh.
there you go.
Yeah.
Ah, there
Yep.
it goes out. Wild Gavin appears. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yes, we are. So yeah, no, I just baby's in bed, and I saw you guys were doing this thing, so I'm like, yeah, I'll slide in. Why not?
Yeah.
Nice.
the beautiful bearded Gavin shows up. But those listening at home, Gavin is twice as manly as before.
Lumberjack manly.
So, let's see. How do we catch up Gavin? So Trevor's kid bites people. He started.
Oh, he's in Fallout. No, just mention Fallout. Just we talked Fallout.
Oh yeah, then I played a bunch of Fallout because I figured out I could cheat. It makes it easy.
Oh, yeah. You weren't?
I wasn't before. Mostly just for the carry stuff. And let's see, Jeff decided to throw himself back into the terribly huge game with Divinity Original Sin because he hates himself and his free time.
I thought he was just gonna replay The Witcher.
Yeah, it just wasn't done.
That's true. One, two.
And he became a murdering psychopath. Murdered absolutely everybody in the game.
Yeah,
and could still beat it. The game accepted it. That was the coolest part. Just like, all right, well, you're a rampant murderer.
It's
Good on you.
Yeah.
You do you. So, geez, you really snuck in at the end there, Gavin. So quick though, man, how was your week in fatherhood and gaming?
Fatherhood, good. You know, some fun stuff. We had a big weekend trip, so just got off the highway now. But yeah, it was good. Saw lots of family. Willow, and the little one, she was very, very well behaved. So, oh, and my wife just rewarded me for driving us home safely.
Okay, now you can drink.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doug.
this is a bourbon that my father-in-law got me. Is it the decanter? No, I have absolute palate then. All right, that's that. Don't trust anything I say from here on out.
Like, I've just been informed it's in fact ginger ale.
It's, apple juice. So yeah. Gaming wise, let's see. Getting better at Mortal Kombat. Playing a little bit of Metro Last Light. That's been somewhat fun, but also hard to play if I'm half asleep. Big news! I got a big boy phone.
Ooh.
And now I can play games on my phone.
Uh-oh.
Pokemon Go. Here we go.
Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. I refuse.
Just wait.
But I've been playing. Speaking of Fallout, I've been playing some Fallout Shelter, and it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Yeah, put a hit on it really. It's neat. It's like, you know, I'm not sure if anybody's played it yet, but you're kind of just like, it's like an ant farm but with people management. Yeah. No, it's pretty cute. It's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's good depth to it. Like it really is like a full realized game. I think they've even released it on PC now. Like it's that much of a game.
Shooting to do like a Steam, so that'll be good. It's definitely a good, probably great point and click mouse keyboard sort of deal. But yeah, so far I'm digging it. It was fun. Lindsay was driving us from one family destination to another, and I was in the backseat, making sure the baby stayed asleep. And I checked on the baby, played the game. Checked on the baby, played the game.
That's perfect.
Yeah, where? Sure, the baby's okay. Yeah, he's fine, honey.
Yeah.
Caps.
Weird lights waking him up. I don't know.
All these murder sounds. I don't understand. What is ever the issue?
Yeah. But yeah. That's about it, really. And then we'll go back to work tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks for the good news, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up. Yeah, no, we had remarked to that now that we have kids, like a day off, an extra day is hardly much of an extra day ultimately. Besides,
yeah, and holidays are no longer really like restful experiences where you just sort of, you know, sit around, twiddle your thumbs. Like they're now adventures, which like they're fun in their own right, but they're not as like you don't really recharge the batteries.
Yeah.
Although I will admit, today I managed to get a nap, which was fantastic. So I wasn't even home.
Fancy.
Yeah.
So yeah, the baby was down for a nap, so but like it was really loud, so I took one for the team. I fell on the sword and went upstairs and periodically while I slept, and worked out great. Baby and I both slept, so
A nap and everything.
she didn't wake me up, so No, she had a solid nap, but it was actually kind of because we don't to sleep in our room back when we had a one-bedroom apartment, but it's been a long time, and since we had her, like we were in the guest room at the in-laws, and neat to be like lying in bed next to her crib and just sort of like I'd peek in at her and every so often she'd stand up and peek over the side of the crib and look at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. She's like, okay, you want back down?
Hey,
And
you
yeah, it
sleeping?
was kind of a
I'm
fun
sleeping.
little bonding moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, you still sleeping?
Hey, what's up? I know you.
That is vastly different from how my kid sleeps. Like if he sees me, it's like, oh, hey, you're here. Cool. Wah! Like it's not just like, oh, cool. Let me just quietly, nicely go to bed real quick again.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think the one thing she did do today though is like she reached out of her crib and into the bed and poked me in the nose. Just like with her little index finger, just like, mm, 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 you awake? And I just played asleep. I'm like, I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage. She got bored, went to sleep.
Oh, dude. We had our cheese. He woke up at 3 in the morning and refused to go to bed for 3 hours afterwards. He was just
Wow.
up like just 3 in the morning and just like bam, like just he is wide awake. And I was with him until like 6:30 that same morning.
Oof.
Because I couldn't keep him in the room too because he was just flailing. He did not want to be in the bedroom or held or rocked or comforted. So yeah, that was trying.
Is he sleeping in the nursery or is he in your room or?
No, he has his own room.
Yeah.
And generally, like, it was just a very random occurrence.
Just
Like he generally
random
sleeps
one.
the night. There's just a random one-off where it's just like
Yeah.
3:30, time to be up for 4 hours. Cool. So remember when you wouldn't give me that toy, Dad? Well, vengeance is a dish best served tired.
Wow.
Don't worry, you get payback when he's 16. Huh?
Oh man.
So you
But
want to sleep on me? Okay. How about you mow the lawn instead?
yeah.
You should get them back when they're teenagers and just constantly open the door at like 3, 4 a.m., 6
Yeah.
a.m., 8 a.m. Hey,
Hey, Stephen. Just gonna organize some cards real quick. Don't worry about it.
time to get up.
Yeah. Time to shovel some snow. Come on, let's do this. 4 a.m.
I want to sleep. You had a chance. I gave you ample opportunity when you were a baby. And you said,
Yeah, karma.
you know,
I did my best when you were young, and you you refused it. Now it's too late.
this is your bed, but you're not allowed to lie in it. Yes. Echo.
Oh, I think man, I like the surprise appearance at the end, but I think we might go ahead and wrap it up for the week.
Oh yeah, this is all the gas I have. So
Run out of fumes.
yeah, totally.
He's been saving it up. All right, I got 2 lines. Going to deliver it with gusto.
Yeah. It was like,
And then exit stage left. Everybody, thank you.
Fall over.
The stage combusts. Yeah. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. We do this show weekly. You can find us at our website at newdadgaming.com. And you can also find us on Twitter and Facebook if you'd like to send along any show ideas, questions, or anything else you'd like us to see. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, on the Google Play, as well as many other podcasting services. We thank you once again for listening. Share it with a friend, share it with a dad. Probably not a newborn. Doubt they have a device for it, but share, like, subscribe. Let some know. Let some folks know you're listening. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 1-year-old.
My name is Gavin, and I have a 1-year-old.
My name's Jeff. I got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Kind of tumbled there a bit, but we kept it moving.
It's like the longest voicemail message ever.
Well, yep. Just call me back, and yeah, no rush. Just
for like a job interview, and you realize that the voice message was 3 minutes long. You're like, I'm
not interested. Oh, that's great, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
See ya.